All right. Good afternoon and welcome to our another episode of Not Minding My Own Business. I am your estate planning and elder law attorney, Russell Farbiars, and I am joined here today by Lori Gerhart from Berks Encore. Welcome, Lori.
Hi, thanks for having me, Russ.
Sure. So why don't we start, Lori? Why don't you tell our listeners what exactly is Berks Encore and what do you do here in Berks County?
Berks Encore is the premier social services agency for seniors here in Berks County. We have the contract through the Office of Aging, through the Berks County Area Office of Aging, for Meals on Wheels in Berks County. We have 6 senior wellness and activity centers all around the county. We're in Strausstown, Douglasville, Fleetwood, Mifflin, Reading, and there's one, Warnersville. So hopefully I got them all. But that's they're wonderful centers where seniors can go to have lunch, to participate in exercise, activities, just about anything. Games, go out and socialize and be with other seniors and, instead of sitting at home. The other thing we offer is we have the PA Medi services. So we are offering Medicare counseling to people who aren't sure what all the website information. They can go online, but we'll help them sort through that. And then we also have volunteer grocery shopping, volunteer-friendly visitors. This is the whole laundry list of things that we do, Russ.
You've got so many things that you do for seniors in the county.
Yes.
What sort of activities do you have at the different centers?
Every center is run by a center manager who then schedules events based on what the people there like to do. Like in Reading, we do a lot of games. It is our largest center, and we do a lot of games like bingo or Pokeno, trivia, karaoke trivia, like music trivia, things like that. So there's a lot of those kinds of bigger activities where a whole group can play. At some of the centers, they're doing smaller group things like a watercolor class, or they might do a movie matinee. Now that's, more general interest too. And they're encouraged to bring, if it is a movie where you want to bring some grandkids, you can do that. So it's a way for people just to get out in the centers and enjoy being around other people. Because we know what it's like when you get stuck at home. We've had enough of that. I think everyone was pretty excited when we opened our doors again and got back to more normal programming.
Yeah, I mean, I think this happens a lot to seniors, is that they might become homebound or have difficulty getting around. And so it's nice to have a place where they can go. Do you provide any sort of transportation for any seniors?
BARDA has transportation to several of our centers, but other than that, we do not.
Okay.
It's one of the things that we hear the most about is transportation. People are looking for ways to get around when they can no longer drive.
Well, unfortunately, there are a lot of options. Of course, some of them cost money, but things like Lyft or Uber, are also options that could help people get to the centers.
Yep, and that they are great options. Unfortunately, a lot of our seniors aren't real comfortable using their phones or the websites and things like that. So. But I think that that's an area where we want to try to help them understand how easy it is and see if we can't do some training. And maybe we could have some people come into our centers and educate them about Lyft and Uber. That would be a great education session for them.
Absolutely. And I was just thinking that it might be not, bring someone in who can talk to them and help them be comfortable with the technology, because whether we like it or not, the technology isn't going away.
Right.
And it's going to be here.
And it's helpful. It really is helpful for them. So. Right.
It absolutely is. So I know Berks Encore also runs a very big senior expo, usually in October, and you're running that again this upcoming October?
Yes, we are. Our expo at the ballpark is what we're calling it for the last couple of years now, is on October 4th. We just signed that agreement with the Reading Phillies. We're going to be back out at the ballpark. And it's really been a day where we've tried to offer some fun and some entertainment, something for people to go out and do. It starts usually at 9 o'clock. We open the gates, and they're in there till at least 2 with entertainment. And then all of the vendors who are there, people who offer services that our seniors can use. Some of it is entertainment. So maybe it's travel places, the bus companies and travel tour companies. But people like yourself who offer services that are important that they should be thinking about. They may not be, but maybe when they come out, they can pick up some information and then make sure that they follow up.
Yeah, and I think it's always important, and that's why we handed out a lot of our brochures, because it's a way to give people information without it being too intrusive. Now, I think this past expo you had, was it an Elvis impersonator as the entertainer?
Well, he doesn't like to think of himself as an impersonator. He does
Elvis.
A tribute. he really is a tribute to Elvis. He's a big fan himself. And so, yes, Jeff Crick, it was our Elvis entertainer. We had Cliff Starkey and Eric Koala did a segment. And then we had the Swing Time Dolls, who did a patriotic session at the end. So that was, we had a great day of entertainment. Plus, we always have Redner's Markets is there. If you know Meredith McGrath, she does a lot of things on BCTV, and dietitian-wise, she's helping folks watch their diets if they have medical issues or just to eat healthier, and comes there every year and offers some tips on ways to make healthy food. And sometimes it's doing it on with savings, and sometimes it's just looking out for certain if it's medical things, or like diabetes, you're watching your carbs, or issues like that. She's there to help. So they're always there, and they bring with them one of the major sponsors is Abbott, which is insuring Glucerna. And that has been just game changer for us, as to have that national company there as a sponsor with us for the event. They usually do some samples of their products, and that's always fun for people to grab and go.
Of course. And that's great. What other sort of events do you guys run during the year?
Really, that's a fundraiser for us, and that is our biggest fundraiser. But the other thing that we do is we have a community breakfast, which is more of a business salute to someone here in Berks County who has supported Berks Encore or has supported the senior community. That typically happens in the spring. Right now, we are working on scheduling a date for, looks like, mid to late May. So, and that we're going to be honoring Dolan Construction, Pat Dolan, great people who have been around for a long time here in Berks County, and especially helping in the city of Reading and helping a lot of nonprofits as well. So,
well, that's wonderful. I know the Dolans as well, and I think that they are very deserving of that honor.
They absolutely are. So I'll make sure you get an invitation to come to the breakfast for us.
Thank you. I think we usually get an invitation. Yeah. So, how did Berks Encore start? Like, what's that origin story?
Yeah, it's interesting because it started as you won't remember, the Berks County Senior Citizens Council, and let's see, in 2015 we celebrated 50 years, so that was 1965. That the center that is built at 40 North 9th Street is the first senior center that was built in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah. So that center was built there to encourage seniors to gather together. And at that time, there were a lot of senior clubs, and they were kind of all put under the jurisdiction of that Senior Citizens Council. So they worked with the council to help promote and get new people to join their clubs. And we still work with them today, but not in the formal arrangement that there used to be, because I really don't understand that. I don't know what that was. I wasn't around either. But it today we have Berks Encore News, which is our monthly newspaper, and we offer space in that newspaper for the different centers to promote the activities that they have going on. So if it's the Senior Club of Laureldale or the Tuckerton Nifty 50 or, Burnville, what did they call themselves? I can't remember. But they all have events going on where they're gathering in their local communities, and we want to help them get those seniors together as well. We hope they'll come out to our centers, but we want them to gather together too as often as they can.
Of course. And the name Berks Encore, I love the name because I think what it reflects is that this part of their life is like an encore, that it shouldn't be looked down upon. But what is the origin of the name?
That is exactly what happened. They wanted to change the name, come up with something more updated. Senior Citizens, was starting to have more of a not negative, but they wanted something more vibrant.
Right.
And Berks Encore, they worked with a marketing company who came up with the idea and that it's the second chance or the second phase of your life, and that it's a happy celebration kind of thing. And we've just embraced it ever since. And one of the things, if you use the initials, the BE, Berks Encore, so we often use that for our programming, like Be Happy or like we have Be Nourished, which is a new program that we're just starting. And that one is medically tailored meals. And we should talk about that a little bit too. But so it kind of lended itself to do a little bit different marketing and more upbeat. And we've been using it. I can't remember exactly what year that was. Again, I was not in my role at Berks Encore at that time, but it was a shift from the Senior Citizens Council and that name of seniors to Berks Encore. It's a kind of a lifestyle, a life change, a second chance.
Yeah. I think that having that name, it's more approachable than the Senior Citizens Council. It almost sounds like a committee, a government committee that doesn't really do anything,
Yeah. And like Office of Aging, it kind of is, I don't know. It's not what you would think of yourself. When you think about it, I'm not thinking about myself as I don't want to go to the Office of Aging. I'm not aging, but yet Berks Encore will handle your questions and your issues and concerns about aging, but we want to do it in a way that helps you to live well.
Right. And speaking of living well, let's talk about that Nourishing Well program that you just mentioned a moment ago.
So Be Nourished
Be Nourished, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's our newest program. We rolled it out with Berks, Penn State Health, St. Joe's Medical Center, and Redner's. And what we do is provide medically tailored meals for people who have a diabetic or a cardiac medical diagnosis. You do have to be referred to the program through one of the doctors. And but through it, the idea is to get you to eat the right foods to help you increase your health, to better your health. So they receive 2 meals and a snack each day for 7 days of the week. We do that for 90 days because we believe that you need to do that on a regular basis in order to change the habit of if you were eating bad, eating the wrong things, not eating badly, but not eating the right things for your condition. And then this will give you a way to do that. Meredith McGrath, a dietitian at Redner's, is involved with the selection and the planning of the meals, as is someone from Penn State Health. So they collaborate on what kind of meals they should have, the number of carbs they're looking at, the salt in the cardiac folks. So it is something that we're rolling out. It is being done in other areas of the country. And it is something that is a choice that you would have if you have a diabetic condition, that you could get these meals. And we're hoping that at some point the insurance company would help to fund this. Right now we have a donor who has supported it for us.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That you have a donor. And if a senior is looking to take advantage of that, they need a referral from physician?
Yes, they do. Right now, it's through Penn State Health is the only one that we're working with because we've got to roll it out slowly. We could
Right.
have 100 or 200 clients here in Berks County, all with diabetic issues, and we wouldn't be able to do that initially. So we're hoping that we can roll it out, and eventually we'll include Reading Tower Health.
That's wonderful. So, what is something that the average person wouldn't be aware of about what Berks Encore does in the community?
I think, when we talk about it, everyone knows Meals on Wheels, and they feel they associate Berks Encore with Meals on Wheels. But they don't always know about the Medicare counseling. They don't always know that we offer a friendly volunteer and a grocery shopping program. We have volunteer grocery shoppers who will go for people who can't get out on their own and do the grocery shopping. I think these programs, like the other one is Berks Encore Care Plus. We have a program for family caregivers who, it can be the senior or the caregiver, but they can come to us and say, look, my dad just had a diagnosis of early onset dementia. What's going to happen? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? And so we go out, we do an assessment with the family of the living situation, of the person, of the finances, of everything, and then give them a plan. Now, this is a program that is not free. We do charge for it. And I think most people consider Berks Encore is a free service. And so that's one of the things that we do have some services that are paid for. And Berks Encore is one of them, or Care Plus is one of them.
So tell me a little bit more about the plan that you put together and what you're assessing in that.
Again, they're the physical things in the home. They'll look at all the medical conditions that they have. They're looking at social aspects, like how often do they go to church? Do they have neighbors that are close by? They look at just things like their meals, who's planning meals, what do they eat, how are they eating, and just a little bit of everything, a whole assessment, and then trying to put something together in an action plan for the family that would give them some idea of, at some point you're going to need to install maybe alarms on the doors, mm-hmm. or handicapped ramps, or maybe you're going to need to have someone to prepare the meals.
Right.
Things like that. So it's just an overall plan, and there's a care manager who goes in and who does that.
Okay. And then you talked about the Medicare counseling. So how does that work for a senior?
We have PA Medi trained. They're all trained by the state. They go through a program, and then they will set up an appointment, come in to see us, and we can go through the different options they bring us their prescriptions. They bring us the meds that they're on. They bring us what they're paying currently, and we can help to evaluate the different plans. Now, we're not selling any plans. We're just evaluating all the options that are out there that they could find on the website.
Okay.
But it is often difficult to go through that for someone.
It absolutely is. Probably about 10 years ago, when my grandmother was still alive, my uncle called me, and he said, we need to pick out a Medicare plan. And even as an attorney looking at all the options, it got a little overwhelming. Yeah. So I can only imagine for a senior that it can get overwhelming. So it's great that you have this option, and then do you refer them to some folks who can help them actually purchase the plans?
They can do that, or if they decide right there, we can help them execute that right online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we also, like when someone is turning 65, now that's through open enrollment. We usually evaluate the plans that they have with them, but we also offer like Zoom sessions on what's coming up in Medicare. If you are turning 65, things to be aware of, when you should do it, and just how to evaluate. And if they want to set up a one-on-one appointment, they can come in and do that as well.
Okay. And so I'm sure things change. Things change for everyone over the last 3 years with the need for digital accessibility. How has that changed the way that Berks Encore has delivered their services?
Well, one of the things that we did was with meals, and it's a simple thing, Meals on Wheels. People think of it as they take a meal to the door, knock on the door, hand off the meal. That's it. But that's not it. Now for Meals on Wheels, we have volunteers that carry tablets. They'll go out with the tablet. They'll follow the directions to get to each home. As they deliver the meal, they're checking with the client that's receiving this meal, and they're observing. They're looking at the area. Is there anything different here? Is there, things that are broken on the front porch, or is there trash piling up? Are there smells that maybe are a little odd or off? And then they report that on the tablet. And when they get back, that information is downloaded to someone who is a change of condition person, coordinator. And that person then will look over those things, and they make follow-up phone calls to either the client themselves to ask more questions. Maybe someone said, "Oh, I fell," or they have a bruise, and they said, "Oh, I fell last night." And the volunteer will say, "Well, are you okay? Did you get it checked out?" No, I'm okay. The change of condition person would give a call and just say, "Hey, how are you feeling? Did you have any headaches?" Maybe go through a couple other questions to get more information. And then from there, if it warrants it, they could call the emergency contact for that person. Or in some cases where it's a no answer at the door, we're trying to get a hold of the emergency contact. If we can't, we're going to call police, or we're going to start checking with hospitals.
And I think you're right. Most people don't really understand that Meals on Wheels is more than just dropping a meal. It's not like a food delivery service. It's really a way to make sure that things are okay
Yes.
in the home.
Yes, and that the person knows that someone's there watching out for them. We're there to say, "Are you okay today? How's everything going?" And for many people that do deliver meals, it's someone that they get to know because they're at that same house on a regular basis. So they're people that they get to know and do care about.
So are there any other activities or events that are upcoming in the next couple of months?
Well, March, let's see. Actually, March is an interesting month because we have the 275th anniversary of the city of Reading. And so we're going to be participating in that celebration with a birthday party in our Reading Center.
Oh, nice.
So we'll invite people to come in and have birthday cake and some other snacks and probably play some games and just get people together to celebrate there. March is also March for Meals nationally. Excuse me. So that is an event where we're typically trying to raise awareness of the importance of Meals on Wheels. And we'll do some little things in our centers and probably in publicity, but there's no big event planned for this year.
Well, very nice. If there are seniors that are looking to get in touch with Berks Encore or want to get more information about some of the services that we've talked about, what's the best way for them to do that?
Just call us at 610-374-3195. We have people who will answer that phone. You just tell them what it is you're looking for, and they'll get you to the right people. The other thing is we have a lot of information on our website at berksencore.org. Easy to go to, and you can look on there and find all of the services that we do offer. There's also volunteer applications on there, and I've got to say that's one thing. We need volunteers. We're always looking for volunteers. Without the volunteers, we couldn't do what we do. Right now, we're delivering over 650 meals every single day.
Wow.
We do it from each of our 6 centers. Reading is the largest. Over half of our meals come from our Reading Center. So we're always in need of volunteers to help us deliver that food. And as little as once a month, if you can do it more than that, we'd love your help. Maybe even you want to just give us a call and say, "I'd be willing to help out when you need someone. Give me a call and maybe I could help out." And that would be great too. The other thing is we'd love to have more businesses help us by, again, maybe just once a month, you have a team of your people come and deliver meals. And each month it could be different people. So That's one of the key things. We have over 700 volunteers who helped us last year, and it's invaluable, the amount of service that they provide to us.
Of course. And if to volunteer, you just call the same number you mentioned.
You can call the same number. You can go to our website, and we have our volunteer application right on there. So if anyone's interested in doing that, that would be really great. We could use your help.
Well, wonderful. Well, Lori, thank you so much for being here and talking with me about all the wonderful things that Berks Encore does.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I really love getting the word out about Berks Encore. So thank you.